Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Grady Tech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing this Samsung Galaxy A80 and giving you a quick hands-on review. Now this phone is priced at 48,000 rupees. It's available in three colors, black, gold and silver, and we have the gold color. Now this phone is definitely super costly. It's just priced around the Samsung Galaxy S10e, which is definitely a much better package than this phone. But this phone has the first flip camera from a Samsung phone, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this phone's gonna fare against flagships like the Samsung S10 or the S10e. So guys, without any further delays, let's get on with the unboxing. So guys, here's the box, and box might look a bit worn out. I've just borrowed this from my friend, so it's gonna be a little dirty. Anyway, this is how the box looks like. On the front, we have a quick preview of how the phone looks along with a pretty flashy A80 at the bottom. And on the left side, we have the phone's name once again. That's the Samsung Galaxy A80. On the right side, it's blank, and on the back, we have some specifications, which I'll talk about in a minute. Let's just unbox it now. So there we have it. So first we have the phone itself. Let me just put that aside. It comes with some stickers, but as I've said, it's a borrowed phone, so all the stickers have been removed. Next, we have the 25-watt power adapter. Following that, we have a USB Type-C charging cable and a Type-C earbuds. So this phone doesn't have an audio jack. That's the reason Samsung has bundled a Type-C based earbuds on this phone. So guys, these are all the contents of that box. Now there is something else in this box. So let me just open it up. And here we have it. By the way, we have the SIM card ejector over here. Next, we have a quick start guide, warranty card information, original log guide, and a free plastic case. Now on the back, this case has a nice texture to it. It adds a lot of grip, but after a few days of usage, it's looking pretty horrible. So let's just drop that. So guys, this is how the phone looks on the front without any stickers whatsoever, and this is how the phone looks on the back. Now let's have a quick physical overview and then check out the complete specifications. On the back, this phone has a 3D curved glass. According to GSM Arena, it is Corning Gorilla Glass 6. And at the top, we have the flip camera module with 3 cameras and the LED flash. Following that, we have the Samsung branding. And at the bottom, we have some specifications. Now on the front, we get that massive AMOLED display with super slim bezels all around with a small notch at the bottom. On the right side, it has a power button. On the left side, we have the volume rocker. At the top, it has just the secondary microphone for noise cancellation. And at the bottom, we have the mono speaker followed by the primary microphone, USB Type-C charging port, and a SIM card tray housing 2 nano SIM slots. As you could guess already, this phone has an in-display fingerprint scanner, and obviously there is no audio jack. Now this phone has a thickness of 9.3 mm and weighs 220 grams. Now just for quick initial impressions, buttons are sufficiently elevated and have a nice clicky feel to them. And even though Samsung says thickness is 9.3 mm because of this 3D curved back, phone doesn't feel all that thick. And it has a bit of weight to it, but weight distribution is good. Phone doesn't feel all that heavy. It feels huge though. Now these are the specifications. On the rear, this phone sports a triple camera setup with a 48 megapixel primary camera with f2.0 aperture, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with f2.2 aperture and 123-degree field of view, and finally a time of flight 3D camera setup. On the front, it has a massive 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution with the new 20:9 aspect ratio, protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Samsung calls it the new Infinity display. Under the hood, it sports a Snapdragon 730 processor with Adreno 618 GPU with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Right out of the box, it will be running Samsung's One UI based on Android Pie, and powering all this is a 3700 mAh battery. It supports fast charging and comes with a 25-watt power adapter inside the box. It has all the basic sensors along with NFC, so it also supports Samsung Pay. It even has an in-display fingerprint scanner, and finally, audio jack has been removed from this phone. Now let's test the free case that we got inside the box. So this is how the phone looks with the case on. It doesn't offer any kind of protection. There's no raised lip for the camera module, so the camera is almost exposed, and as you can see, it looks pretty bad after a few days of usage. So just for a few days you can try using it, but I would suggest you to get a better case as soon as possible. Even on the front, there's no raised lip, so if you place your phone directly on its face, display is almost in contact with the surface. There's a tiny raised lip, but it's almost negligible. So guys, now let me turn on the phone and set it up and come back to you in a second. So guys, this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. This is your default launcher, default wallpaper, and this is how your phone will look once we turn it on right out of the box. You have the swipe up gesture for app drawer, and you can do the swipe down gesture once again for the app drawer. You can change it from settings to pull down the notification bar as well. I'll show that in a second. Now first, let's go to settings and check out the storage information. So guys, out of that 8 GB of RAM, you get about 4.2 GB of RAM free out of the box. And out of that 128 GB of storage, you get about 108 GB of space for your user apps and user data. Now let's check the about page. Software information. So right out of the box, this phone is running Samsung's One UI version 1.1 based on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie. And right out of the box, it has the July security patch, which is pretty good. Now let's check out the camera interface. So this is the interface for the rear camera. It looks exactly like any other Samsung phone. You have a toggle at the center to switch between the primary camera and the wide angle camera. So there we go. And this button over here is for scene optimization. That's AI mode for camera. Now if we go to the right side, we have video recording mode. We can record video using the primary camera and also with the wide angle camera as well. It also offers electronic image stabilization, and you have the super steady mode, which can further improve the stabilization. Next we have live focus video, where the phone uses a time of flight camera and takes video with a background blur effect. You can even change the amount of background blur effect you want using the slider. Next we have super slow motion, followed by slow motion video recording, and finally hyperlapse. Now if we go to the left side, we have live focus mode, which is once again portrait mode for rear camera, and once again you can change the amount of background blur effect you want before taking a picture. Next we have pro mode, that's manual mode, followed by panorama, and finally we have a dedicated night mode. Now this is the flip camera, this is the front camera, and unlike the rear camera, you have 3 toggles over here. Now the primary 48 megapixel camera used on this phone is already pretty wide. So by default, it crops it to gives you a regular size selfie. So this is it. Now if you want to take the actual selfie, that's the wide angle selfie, you can switch to the second mode. Now if you want to take a selfie with that wide angle camera, you have the toggle over here, and that's super wide. Now if you go to video recording, there's no toggle to switch between the primary camera and the wide angle camera. But if you enable super steady mode, it switches to the wide angle camera and gives you a super steady footage. And this is gonna be great for vlogging as well. So that's another advantage of having a flip camera. Next we have live focus video, which is once again video recording with a background blur effect. Once again we have a slider over here to change the amount of background blur effect. Next we have hyperlapse for front camera. I don't know why you want to use it, but it's there if you want it. Next we have live focus mode for selfies, that's for portrait shots. So this is the camera interface. Now just in case if you're curious about that flip camera, this is how it works. So a part of the phone just pops up, and here we go once again. So this is how it looks from the side, and this is how it looks on the back. It does make a little noise, but so far it's not that annoying. Now these are some sample pictures. So guys, this is the sample footage recorded using the primary camera in 1080p resolution at 30 fps, and this is with stabilization. Now I'm just gonna walk around, so check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by this phone in this mode. So guys, now I'm recording this video in 1080p resolution using the wide angle camera with just electronic image stabilization. Next I'm gonna give you a quick review at super stable mode. I guess that's what it's called. By the way, audio is from the phone itself. So guys, now I'm recording this video by turning on the super steady mode. So now you can check out the stabilization offered in this mode when compared to the previous videos. Once again, audio is from the phone itself. I'm just walking around, so Check out the stabilization and noise cancellation. So guys, this is the sample footage recorded using the primary camera, that's the 48 megapixel camera in 1080p resolution. Once again, audio is from the phone itself, and I'm walking around, so you can check out the stabilization and noise cancellation offered by this phone for vlogging kind of stuff. So now I'm just gonna walk around. So guys, this is the sample footage recorded using the wide angle camera, probably in the super steady mode, and you can see that the footage is much wider than earlier, and stabilization has also increased quite a bit. So guys, this footage is being recorded using the live focus mode, that's the front camera. So it's going to use the time of flight camera to create bokeh mode in real time, and we can also change the amount of background blur effect we want before we start shooting this video. So this is the sample footage in that mode, and the blur effect is really pretty good. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's in real time and you are getting something that no other phone offers in this price segment. So guys, now let's test the speaker loudness. This phone has just a single speaker at the bottom, so let's see how it's gonna sound. So guys, speaker on this phone is not super loud, but it's sufficient for media consumption, ringtones and alarms. I really don't have any complaints. In fact, I felt that the audio quality was quite good. So guys, now let's test the fingerprint scanner. So here we go, that's the fingerprint scanner. And it is kind of slow. It's not as fast as say the OnePlus 7 Pro or even the Realme X, which is priced at 17,000 rupees. So that's a bit of a disappointment for a phone that costs almost 48,000 rupees. It's kind of usable. By the way, there is no face unlock feature, and even if it had face unlock, it's gonna be pretty slow as it takes almost a second or two for the camera to pop up. So there we go, that's the biometrics. Next, this one also has always on display. So to enable that, go to settings, then select lock screen settings, then always on display, and change the display mode to show always. Once you do that, whenever you lock your phone, you can see the always on display. And by default, you won't see the fingerprint scanner's location. You just need to touch the screen once to bring it up, and then place your finger to unlock the phone. So there we have it. Now earlier I was talking about the gesture to pull down the notification bar. So to enable that, do a pin gesture, go to settings and just enable this toggle. Once you do that, you can do a swipe down gesture to pull down the notification bar. Now this phone right out of the box comes with this 3-button navigation style, but you can change it from settings. From display settings, just go to settings, then select display. Now select navigation bar. We have full screen gestures, which are same as these buttons, but instead of clicking on them, you need to swipe from the bottom to perform that action. So swipe from the right side to go back, swipe from the center to go home, swipe from the left side for recent apps. Now you can also swipe and hold to trigger Google Assistant from the center of the screen. Just like the Samsung Galaxy A70, even this phone has Samsung Pay, so that's gonna be great. Next, we also have a dedicated night mode, which looks pretty cool because of the AMOLED display. Finally, this phone also has Dolby Atmos sound enhancement if you're gonna use a headset. So guys, this is the Samsung Galaxy A80. Initial impressions, as I've said, display is massive, it's pretty huge, and phone is super slippery, like slippery than most Samsung phones in this price segment. Fingerprint scanner, as I said, it is usable, but I wish it was a bit more faster, say like the OnePlus 7 Pro. Cameras so far look promising, especially the front-facing camera is really good as it uses the same rear camera. Now performance is going to be an issue. It comes with a Snapdragon 730 processor, which according to Qualcomm is like the third best processor. In my usage, I didn't notice any lag or whatsoever, but seriously, around 30,000 rupees or even 28,000 rupees, you're getting a flagship Snapdragon 855 processor with Redmi K20 Pro. So a Snapdragon 730 processor at about 48,000 rupees doesn't make any sense. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do you think it's gonna give a tough competition to phones like the Samsung S10e or even the OnePlus 7 Pro? Will you be willing to spend 48,000 rupees for this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech signing off. Have a nice day.